What's up, YouTube? Back again. Last time you guys saw me, I was in Jacksonville, Florida, and really shortly after that video, we had to boogie on out of there and come up here to Indiana. So that's where I'm at now, and I haven't had time to work on the Baja, because it's just been extremely busy. But finally today, I did some work to it. Well, I actually took things apart, and I was able to better assess the damage. So let's look at it. So as you can see, everything is pretty much pulled out. I still got to do this part here. Did a little bit of cleaning here, not so much here or here. I'm actually going to go buy some brake parts cleaner and then some silicone and spray it down here. That's how I've always cleaned my stuff, because I, live in the condo, so I can't hose it down or anything like that. Now, with that being said, when this thing had its big accident, I thought that it was the shock tower uprights that were damaged, and that was it. No, I was wrong. So, turns out this K&N filter, as you can see, bent a little. I'm gonna get another one. The muffler I kind of put back on here, but you've got the damage there from where the Turtle Racing shock tower brace ooh, excuse me. Turtle Racing shock tower brace flexed into this, and it hit so hard that it also bent there and pushed this all the way back to the screw, which made it difficult to take out, but I was able to finally take it out. This is going to be garbage, not to be reused or sold or anything. But look at that. That was from one hit. All this damage on this muffler. It wasn't the best pipe out there, I know, but it was fun while I had it on there. Hell, even the tip got bent. Don't know how, but it did. So then, as I'm looking, I took off the uprights. This one is nice and straight. That's how it's supposed to look. Right there. Let me turn into the light here. It's not helping. There we go. Right? Nice and straight. How it's supposed to look. Then we look at this one. And you see how badly out of whack this thing got, which is why I prefer to have plastic parts in certain areas instead of aluminum. Speaking of aluminum, I love my wheels, but I'm not going to use them anymore. One of them has a pretty bad dent in it. I'm kind of done with aluminum wheels. I'm going back to plastic wheels. And that's just that. So yeah, that got bent out of shape pretty bad. Only thing on the Turtle Racing shock tower brace, it got scratched up. Let me see if I don't want to lose any of these screws, but that was about it. I mean, I'm not going to get a new one for that. I'll just sand it down and repolish it. And that's it. Now, the shocks, the rear shocks, I thought were in good condition. Turns out, that's one. Now the bottom is good. That's two. Snapped up top. And I only have one spare cap. So hopefully that's something I can find on Dollar Hobbies. And buy those. Sorry guys for the sniffling. It's just I'm not really used to this weather up here. Now these, remember, for those of you who know, My cars sit out on the balcony, kind of like a piece of lawn equipment outside. So these got dry rotted, so I'm gonna have to get new ones. There's one that's torn pretty bad. There it is. Yeah, you can see right in there. And the other one is the same way. Sorry for the light. But there we go. So, let me get new ones. I'm going to clean all this up. The RPM arms have held up pretty well, except for this one where a wheel flew off and it kind of chewed the bottom of it. So I'm thinking maybe get some new rear RPM arms. The fronts are good. You know, other than that, these RPM have held up 5 years now. I mean, hell, this car is 5 years old and I've never taken it apart like this. This is the first time I've taken the engine out. I've taken the tank out. I went ahead and cleaned up the tank. I got new fuel line, even though it doesn't need it, but they got kind of discolored from being out in the sun. So I got new fuel lines. Yeah, guys, 5 years old. I've never had it this far taken apart. And for a 5-year-old spur gear, not bad. It's not perfect. It's got some blemishes somewhere that I saw earlier. There it is, right there. But, dude, for 5 years old, it's held up. I think I'm going to go with steel gears, though. So, yeah, 2014. Yeah, I got this in 2014. Yeah, so 5 years old. So, oh, another thing. This top plate right here also got bent. So I could probably bend it back into shape, but why bother? I'm just gonna get the heavy duty one, but you could see it there off to the right. And let's put it on a white background. See it right there? It's not perfectly straight, so that got bent. I'll probably get the Turtle Racing one, heavy duty. I'll get the one for the front also from Turtle Racing. The brakes. The brakes are not 5 years old. The brakes are, they have been replaced. So they're a couple of years old, but starting to chip there. Got some decent meat on it though, so I'm not sure. Maybe I'll hold on to these and buy some new brakes anyway. The pads themselves, I can probably resurface these with a little bit of sandpaper. No biggie. You know? The clutch has never been replaced. The clutch is 5 years old. It's looking a little thin on material, but it still has a little life left in it, so I will be getting a new clutch, but I won't be installing it. I'll just wait till this one goes bad. And clutch bell, stock plastic clutch bell holder. I do want to get an aluminum one. I'd like to get the one from HPI. I'm gonna have to jump on it once it's available again. And I do want to get a new clutch bell. This one's in good shape. You know, it's decent. It's just a little worn on the outside. But the bearings are still good. I'm gonna go ahead and re-oil all the bearings on the car. They're all good. I'm just gonna re-oil everything. I'm gonna take this apart, the tranny, re-oil the bearings in there, re-oil all these bearings here, here. I don't know what I'm doing with this or this yet. I don't know if I'm going to go aluminum or just keep it plastic the way it is now. I did say I wanted the frame copper plated, but I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I don't know how long that would take. It's just going to be way too much time for me to strip off the paint and polish it. So for now, I'm just going to just give it a good cleaning. And once I get back home, we'll do the copper plating. Or if anything, I'll buy that nice chrome $45 chassis off of Roven and get that copper plated. And then just transfer everything over onto that chassis. I really wanted to get these wheels, the rims copper plated. I'm just done with aluminum, man. I don't want to copper plate them and then have these things bend on me again, because I do use my stuff, you know? So, yeah, that's where we're at. I'm missing some C-clips, but I saw some on DDM, these pins right here, that actually have a retaining screw on either side, so I don't have to worry about the C-clips anymore. I think I'm going to go ahead and get those. I am going to go with a whole blue theme, but I might keep the red cap anyway. The engine, honestly, for not having any outer wears, doesn't have crud in it. Is just, I really didn't do a lot of dirt running with this. It was mainly pavement and grass. So, and green grass at that. None of the dry stuff that's like out here in Indiana. So, really not much crud in there. This is looking, the bulb, you know, a little yellow, but still got some flex to it. Non-ethanol fuel, or ethanol-free fuel, actually bought the flex, brought it back, because this was pretty hard at one point when I was running ethanol fuel through it. And I started running VP Racing 93 octane, non-ethanol, and it brought it back. You know, didn't make it perfectly see-through, but you could see the fuel in there. I might repaint this, but again, that'll be at a later time. I am going to replace this and maybe paint that. 1 second, guy. Phone's ringing. As a matter of fact, you know what? We're going to keep it right here, and I'll see you guys again next time when I start putting things back together. Take care, guys.